I feel as if I don't record anything from my car, I don't look like a real boy. So I'm recording something from my car. The real show. The real show. The real show. The real show. The real show.
About why am I doing this? Do I feel connected to my work? Maybe sometimes you play the wrong venue on the wrong night, but the feeling's real, you know. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And is it at the end of that album cycle that Rustam decides to leave the group? Yeah, more or less. Was it brewing for a long time? Well, I don't want to speak for him, but I would say so because even in the early days of the band,
got this tablet the other day, about a week ago. Um, Ordered it off Amazon. It is it's a Lenovo P12, not the P12 Pro, just the P12. And I got the bundle that comes with the case and the pen. Um, and I was excited to get it because I've been wanting to get I wanted to get a new tablet because I was reading on my Kindle. Um, I was reading on my Kindle, and it was one of the first fires, so it was really small. And I tend to read comics. This is The Boys that I'm reading again, and on the smaller screen is like I'm wearing glasses. This wearing glasses is a new thing for me as of this year. So I've always had really good vision. My vision has started to deteriorate with age. So I was like, oh, I need a new Kindle, a bigger one. Decided to go with a tablet instead because I've gotten into the habit of taking notes and writing things. And when I present, sometimes even electronically or digitally, like I want to interact. So I've really come to like pens and um, any tools that allow me to draw um, on screen. But the pen that came with it didn't work. Like I'm glad it was the pen that didn't work. I spent hours trying to figure it out. I wasn't sure if it was the tablet itself or if it was not enough charging, which I knew it was, or the Bluetooth connection. I did all kinds of. Probably spent too much time trying to troubleshoot it because all I had to do was put in a return request at Amazon, and they refunded me. Uh, $75, which covered the cost of getting a replacement pen. And then I ordered a new pen, and that came, and it works perfectly as expected. So I've been playing with it um, over the last night is when I got the pen yesterday. It came in the mail, and I was playing with it some last night, but it works really well. I was sitting around taking notes, using OneNote, and um, it's so much. It's so nice. I can resize and do any sort of writing that I want to write on it. Pen's super responsive. Um, yeah, it's it's great thus far. I'm probably gonna end up using this a lot. Like I said, a lot for um, notes. Probably start looking at um, presentations, kind of note taking, organizing. I'm gonna see what kind of apps I can put on there. I was looking into like 3D modeling apps. I know I'm not gonna get any like super powered ones on this, but just to play around with, kind of art type stuff for it. It's on an Android operating system, i5. I think it updated to, which ideally I think I'd want a something more like a Surface or a iPad Pro or something like that. But for now, this is what I got, and this is useful. This will allow me to do the things that I dreamt of doing with these tools in front of me. So that was fun. What was I working on? There was something else, or something that I had wanted to do, which I should have put in my notes here. I'll get organized. Let's see. This was more going over what I was just kind of looking at notes, or ties in together, I suppose. So this is from our zero level business. My OnlyFans verification didn't go through. I had to resubmit some stuff. Um, where did I save it? There we go. So, from my notes last night, I can do this. Coin toy. Do 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 do. You could get with this, or you could get with that. No, I don't want that. Do 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 do. You could get with this. All right. Is logistical a word? Did I make up a word? Yep, it's a word. shout out to Anasori, is that his name, on Reddit. I saw him years ago. Um, Doing some recordings, and I thought it was insane. So in a way, he was the inspiration. Washlaywood, 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 Washlaywood. Raften måste man åka med. Jag borde inte vara med. Raften måste man inte åka med. Därför är det